Now, given that With Love Meghan Season 2 is all set and ready to debut on Netflix on August 26th, and so far the press tour and the marketing campaign for this show has been below abysmal. We know that this has been out of control for Netflix. Those out there like Ted Sarandos, Greg Peters, the board of directors over at Netflix HQ, it's all a disaster for them. It's something that obviously the general public is outright rejecting. A show that has been mocked before back in March of this year across all forms of social media and even in mainstream media, which is something actually completely unexpected. But focusing on the whole Meghan Markle situation, we know that as of late she's been very vocal, not just about herself, but also about her professional life and other aspects, such as, elements related to her pregnancy video and the criticism surrounding that. However, there's a lot more going on right now when it comes to Meghan Markle acting in a very bitter way, acting very erratic, if you will. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, we know for sure that Season 2 is going to be a bigger ratings disaster than Season 1. Now, let's call it for what it is. It's really nothing more than Part 2 of Season 1, that's really what it is. They're going to call it Season 2, acting as if that this show was renewed or given a brand new season. That's really not the case. However, this is where it really begins to actually go out of control and hit rock bottom. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle that we all know is that she's very much narcissistic, she's very much self-absorbed, she is indeed insufferable. That's the best way to sum her up at this point. But one thing, where we stand right now as we head toward the last couple weeks of August of this year, we know that this is going to be a very interesting phase once this thing does drop on Netflix. And how much of a bigger ratings disaster it will be than the first part, I think is going to be a very interesting comparison come September, when you're going to really see all the numbers flooding in. So, with the Meghan Markle drama still going on behind the scenes at both Netflix and throughout the entire film industry, one major development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle admitting a certain truth and how it's already creating another wave of backlash. Now, Meghan delivered the following: I think as a woman, especially as one who identifies as a feminist, which is something that I'm so proud of, I will admit I had a rude awakening in this business. In this industry, I ended up learning that I really have no control over my professional life, and there has been something that I wanted to get off my chest. I started to think to myself, what are other ways of improving that problem of having no control over my professional life, which is why I'm happy to announce that I will be working on my very own reality program. It's going to be a long and difficult process, but I think that we will get there. I have always enjoyed reality television and holding the opportunity to create my own form of humor. It's something that I have been very self-conscious about for years, but it's something beyond just the thinking phase right now, and we are working out ways to really get this done and to turn it into a reality. As much as I put together my brand as ever, another thing I would like to put out there is that I thought it was very important for me to share my thoughts on the issues that women face in this industry as much as I have in the form of a book of some kind. And that is something that I am really looking into right now. And how in this book I would also like to share my feelings and emotions in greater depth about the criticism that I have dealt with and received for my social media presence. There are going to be many naysayers out there and critics that will say that this is nothing more than a publicity stunt. Well, shame on those that label this as such. Teaching people and educating others and making people laugh is something that I live for. It's what I live for. And if anyone has anything to say about it, it's me. When you're looking at different art forms like reality television or programs that mimic reality television, it really is something that actually closes to one's day in life and in a fictional setting. And that's my goal and something that I want to accomplish. Now guys, let me just stop there for a second. Now, the fact that she's really putting it out there and how this is all connecting to all the things that we've been talking about for about 2 months now, that she is in pursuit of developing her own reality TV show. It's not going to be on TV, but that's just what it's called, basically. It's going to be a reality web series, alright? That's why she keeps bringing up social media. We'll talk more about that in a second. The fact that, though, she is going to be funding this herself, this is something that we actually talked about 2 weeks ago, give or take, that she will be funding this project all on her own, since it's not going to be picked up by any major studio out there or any major network. We know that she tried to land something with, Amazon MGM Studios. That failed. We know that she also tried to obtain something very much crucial with HBO Max. That never actually went anywhere, and pretty much the list goes on and on when it comes to studios ending up rejecting Meghan Markle outright. Now, one thing is for certain is that the reality TV, realm, if you will, that whole genre, it's something that's really hit or miss, right? And when it comes to Meghan Markle, believe me, it's gonna be a miss. Now, there are some reality programs out there that are actually quite entertaining. I think that Bar Rescue is a very fun and entertaining movie, or should I say series. When you're looking at other studios that want to embrace movies, alright? They don't want anything to do with Meghan Markle. When it comes to networks embracing television programs, they also want nothing to do with Meghan Markle. So when you're looking at this overall plan by Meghan to develop a reality program and to also create a series of books or a book to share her emotions about her critics going against her on social media and calling her out on her pregnancy video, and how she also wants to create a book about women having all these hardships in the film industry, it's just ridiculous. And the fact that she makes it like she lives for being humorous and educational, I think it's just all an act. I think it's all very much inauthentic and phony. But moving on, she goes on to conclude, I would definitely say that I'm a very educated and independent woman who doesn't have to rely on anyone, but relying on an entity to fulfill my professional life is something that I don't want to grasp onto for the rest of my life, which is why I am here to announce that I will actually be in pursuit of different avenues of accomplishing my goals. Social media is a very powerful place, no matter what platform you go on, and so that is something that's being decided right now between myself and those close to me that are figuring this all out. It's a learning curve, as always, and I'm going to show everyone that I'm not going anywhere. I am here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. Industry or no industry, everyone will know who the real Meghan really is. So look, she's really putting it out there, like, I'm not going anywhere, stomping her foot on the ground, right? Even though everyone is just saying, we don't want to see you, we don't want to hear you. That's how terrible Meghan Markle really is, because of how inauthentic she really is. Nobody wants to actually hear or see someone that is very much insufferable like that. It just doesn't work in show business. It doesn't work in the film industry. We've all seen this. And it's not just with actresses. Let's be very real. It's all to do with actors as well. This is exactly why Robert De Niro is so universally rejected as well from the film industry, and why Warner Brothers wants nothing to do with him after his big box office bomb, which was The Alto Nights. That was a big failure a couple months ago. But interestingly enough, I mean, yet again, we have Meghan Markle really coming forward about all of these things that she's had bottled up, and she wanted to get this off her chest, that she is indeed developing a reality program and a book or a series of books of educating women, having hardships or having difficult times in the film industry, and also expressing her own emotions in the form of a book based on the critics against her presence on social media. This is essentially her way of coping with the fact that literally everyone out there, studios included, do not want to work with Meghan Markle. But overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.